lot for staying with us here at CNN News 18. You're watching The Right Stand with me, Ridhima Bhatnagar. Now, there is no denying the fact that the Indian rupee has been falling. With the rupee falling to a new low of 82 against the US dollar, which is a fall of 12% in the calendar year of 2022, the cold comfort that it is held up better than other currencies actually no longer holds. And anyone who understands the basics of economics knows the value for currency depreciating is because of both internal as well as external factors. Since little can be done about external factors, the key is to focus more on internal factors or the macroeconomic fundamentals. But the Aam Aadmi Party and Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, seem to have found a new solution to tackle this economic crisis. Now, according to the Aam Aadmi Party, the solution is simple. All you need to do is to print images of Hindu gods and goddesses like Lakshmi Ji and Ganesh Ji on currency notes along with that of Mahatma Gandhi, and that will bring prosperity to the country. The BJP on expected lines has now slammed this move, calling it a soft Hindutva push and a U-turn by the Aam Aadmi Party, which they believe has been seen as anti-Hindu. So is there any optimism with what the AAP is suggesting, or is it just appeasement politics?
भारतीय करेंसी के ऊपर एक तरफ गांधी जी की तस्वीर है, वो वैसे ही रहनी चाहिए, लेकिन दूसरी तरफ श्री गणेश जी की और श्री लक्ष्मी जी की तस्वीर भारतीय करेंसी के ऊपर लगाई जाए।
किस प्रकार से यू टर्न किया जाता है, आज ये हमारे सामने पूर्णतः उतर के आ रहा है। जनता उस वीडियो को देखे जिसमें केजरीवाल जी कह रहे थे कि मैं तो किसी भी कीमत पे उस राम मंदिर में आराधना करने, पूजा करने नहीं जाऊंगा।
ये तो एक फेस सेविंग प्रोग्राम है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी। चूंकि इन लोगों ने इतना गाली दिलवा दिया है अपने मंत्रियों से, अपने गुजरात प्रदेश अध्यक्ष से, हिंदू देवी देवताओं को, कि अब इनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि हम कौन सा चेहरा लेके जनता के बीच में जाएं।
मुझे हैरानी है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारत की करेंसी पर महालक्ष्मी जी और गणेश जी की तस्वीरें लगाने का विरोध कर रही है। मुझे बहुत आश्चर्य है।
हम तो आस्तिक लोग हैं, हम ये मानते हैं कि भगवान के आशीर्वाद के बिना बड़ा काम तो छोड़िए, कोई छोटा काम भी सफल नहीं हो सकता।
So what is the rationale that is being given by the Aam Aadmi Party, or why are they making such an argument? Let's break down those details. The first reasoning that is being given by the Aam Aadmi Party is this, that the country will prosper if the currency actually has images of god and goddesses like Lakshmi and Ganesh. The other rationale that is being given by the Aam Aadmi Party is that our efforts actually won't yield any results if the gods are not blessing us. The other reasoning that is being given by them is that we do need the Almighty's blessings to stabilize the economy, something that has actually rattled a lot of economists across the country. The other rationale that has been given, and a comparison has been drawn to what takes place in Indonesia. They're saying that when a Muslim nation has picture of Lord Ganesha on its currency, then why can't India? Why is this problematic? I'll just tell you about that in just a bit. The other reasoning that is being given by the Aam Aadmi Party, and as I said, the comparison that is being drawn by Indonesia, that if Indonesia can go forward and do such a thing, why can't India? But as I said, this is where the big problem lies. When you give the example of a nation like Indonesia, we need to see where its currency actually holds. Today, Indonesia's currency is one of the worst performing currencies. Let me give you some statistics. It fell to its lowest level against the dollar since April 2020. It fell by almost 3% by the end of August against a forceful dollar. It slid almost 2.5% in the month of September, which means it was its largest monthly fall this year. It has lost 9.3% against the dollar from December 2021 to October 2022. Thus, the larger question that we're going to take to our guest this evening is this: is the Aam Aadmi Party just cashing in on the Hindutva pitch because of state elections? Let me also now bring in our guest to take this discussion forward. We have the national spokesperson of the BJP, Sanju Verma. We have political analyst Varun Singh. We have spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Reena Gupta. And we also have author and activist Rahul Ishwar. Good to have all of you on the broadcast with us. Reena Gupta, I want to begin with you, and I'm not going to mince any words because this is something that has a lot of significance, whether political parties would want to believe it or not. As I said when I started the show, the economy is going through a turmoil. Yes, India has done a lot better vis-a-vis other currencies, but a lot still needs to be done. Are political parties like the Aam Aadmi Party today thinking that voters or citizens on the ground are that gullible that they will just believe absolutely anything? What is the rationale that is being given by the Aam Aadmi Party as a fix to the economy?
So, Ridhima, as you correctly said, that the economy is in bad shape. We have high inflation. We have unemployment at 45 years high. The rupee is just sliding down. In the past 12 months itself, there's been a depreciation of 10%. So, at this time, we need divine intervention. We need the gods to come and save us from the mismanagement and misgovernance of Bharatiya Janata Party. And that is the reason why the Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi has made this proposal. But Ridhima, what I don't understand is a party like Bharatiya Janata Party which says, "Hamare to kan kan mein Ram hai." Why are they opposing this proposal? We are saying we don't want any credit out of this. Why don't you go ahead and announce it? And if there is any political benefits, any gains to be made, you
so
go ahead.
Reena Gupta, with the logic that the Aam Aadmi Party is putting forward, with that rate, all economists in the country should take retirement. The central bank should shut down because we found a solution as far as the falling rupee and the failing economy is concerned. All I'm trying to understand is, and you're smarter than that, where is it going wrong? Are you actually taking the voters or citizens on the ground for granted that they will buy anything because it is going to be seen, quote unquote, as a Hindutva push?
What has the government and all the officers of the government who work on the economy, what have they been doing for the past 7-8 years? Why is it that even today 80 crore people are dependent on free ration? What is it all these smart people have been doing? When they have not managed to do anything, what we are saying is that it is time now where we need to pray to gods and goddesses to help us survive this mismanagement and misgovernance.
So rather than coming with concrete solutions of where we are going wrong with our economics, the Aam Aadmi Party literally is saying it's all Bhagwan Bharose because we can't do anything more than wait for divine intervention. Sanju Verma.
Ridhima, you did not let me complete.
Ridhima, she can't have a monologue. May I come in?
Sanju Verma.
Yes, thank you. Ridhima, I don't want to sound pompous, but I am an economist. I have been voted amongst the 30 best globally by the global think tank Asia Money. So I think I know a lot more about economics than some of the panelists who are trying to give a certificate to the Bharatiya Janata Party. First and foremost, let's be very clear, the economy is in fine settle. We grew at 8.7% last year and we are likely to grow at anywhere between 6.8 to 7.5% in the next 1 year, despite Bloomberg saying and IMF saying that China, US, UK, Germany are on the brink of a recession. Point number one. Point number two, when it comes to Indonesia, I think it's a very fallacious comparison. The entire population of Indonesia is barely 28 crores, which is equal to the population of 2 states in India, Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat.
So that's why I wanted to give it to the Aam Aadmi Party that even if we take that comparison, that currency hasn't gone anywhere. So that comparison either way doesn't hold. What I'm essentially trying to understand is how should we see this soft Hindutva push by the Aam Aadmi Party, a party in the past that has been seen as anti-Hindu. It is the same Arvind Kejriwal who didn't want the construction as far as the Ram Mandir is concerned.
Riddhima, you did not interrupt the earlier panelist. Please, I request you.
I am letting you only respond, Sanju Verma.
Riddhima, can you stop heckling me? Let me complete. I don't need you to keep intervening. Let me finish.
But
You asked a question.
I'm letting you only complete, Sanju Verma. I'm letting you only make the point.
Okay, can you stop talking? Can you stop talking for a bit? Let me make my point.
I am the anchor. I'll have to
You
moderate
know,
the show,
let
right?
me- Yeah, stop moderating when I'm in the midst of making a point. Now, please, can you stop interrupting? Let me make my point. Thank you so much. The most important point is this. The most important point is this. That be it Germany, be it UK, be it the European Union, every single economic zone or country's currency has depreciated by anywhere between 15, 20, 27%. The pound has depreciated by 27% against the dollar this year alone. The Eurozone's currency has sunk to a 24-year low. Japanese yen has sunk to a 32-year low. So please don't single out the rupee. This is my request to Aam Aadmi Party. And coming to the Hindutva bit, do you remember, Riddhima, after the Ram Janmabhoomi judgment had already been announced by the Supreme Court, Arvind Kejriwal had the audacity to say this, and I'm quoting him ad verbatim. He said, मेरे राम कभी उस मंदिर में निवास नहीं कर सकते जो एक मस्जिद को तोड़कर बनाया गया हो. So he was actually running foul of even the Supreme Court verdict. And then Manish Sisodia, I remember after the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict said, मंदिर की जगह यहाँ यूनिवर्सिटी बना देते तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहता. यूनिवर्सिटी ना बनाकर मंदिर बनाने से क्या राम राज्य वापस आ जाएगा? And this is the same Manish Sisodia today who is accused number 1 in the Delhi excise liquor scam. And what did Sanjay Singh say about Hindus? Mile Mulayam Kanshi Ram, Hawa mein ud gaye Jai Shri Ram.
Okay.
This is the manner in which senior Aam Aadmi Party leaders have mocked Hindus and Hindutva. We don't
Sanju,
need a
you'll
certificate
appreciate.
from Kejriwal.
I've let you made your point now. Can I continue at least moderating the show now? But Reena, I want to bring you back in the conversation. This is where it becomes problematic for even the voters on the ground. I want to go back to a time when Arvind Kejriwal was sworn in for the first time. That speech was actually seen as a game changer, that will he actually bring change? At that time, he had invoked gods of all religions because he said that I take pride in the fact that we have diversity and we represent various religions in this country. Somewhere down the line, where has that changed? Is it simply because the Aam Aadmi Party today realizes that the state elections which are coming, which is Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh, is not going to turn around for them unless this Hindutva push is seen by the Aam Aadmi Party?
Riddhima, first of all, you must not interrupt me. Please allow me to complete my thought. So I want to first respond to some of the wrong statements that Sanju Verma was making. First of all, the per capita income of UK and Germany and France and America is nowhere compared to the per capita income of India. So please do not compare these economies in the same line. Point number one.
Can you define per capita income? You do not even know the definition of per capita income. Do you know what is the definition of per capita income? Do you know the difference between GDP and GNP? Do you know the difference between Aadhaar card and ration card?
Sanju Verma, let the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson make her point, and we'll appreciate if this
I
is...
challenge you. Tell me the difference between
Let
GDP
her
and
make her
GNP.
point. Let her make a point.
GDP and GNP के बीच का difference मालूम नहीं. यहाँ पर आकर economy पर भाषण.
Sanju Verma, let's keep this civil. You expected uninterrupted time. I'm assuming the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson also wants the same. Go ahead.
So let me tell Sanju Verma that she has been rated best economist by some third-rated magazine. I used to work...
Asia Money is a global think tank, madam. Asia Money is a global think tank. Which people like you wouldn't know. Asia Money is a global think tank.
Okay.
कुछ पढ़ लिख कर आया करो debate पर.
Okay.
कुछ पढ़ लिख कर debate पर आया
Sanju
करो.
Verma,
Read
I
about
unfortunately
Asia Money.
will have to ask you to
Read
not
about
interrupt
Asia
because I
Money.
want Reena Gupta to make her point. I have other panelists waiting as well. Reena, go ahead.
Riddhima, you'll have to mute her. This is not fair. I must get a chance to respond. Just because she's from the ruling party does not mean that she can, just keep interrupting. So for Sanju Verma's information, I've had a long career at the World Bank and I've not been rated the best economist by some third-rate magazine. So now coming back to the economy in this country, if the economy is doing so well, why is it that 80 crore population of this country is dependent on free ration of the government?
Okay, no, Reena, answer that specific question. Why are we seeing a change in stance by the Aam Aadmi Party? Is it only because they fear they're losing ground in the state elections? Answer that.
There is no change in stance, Ridhima. We are still saying that we are still talking about schools, we are still talking about hospitals, we are still talking about roads, we are still talking about having access to basic services for every citizen of this country, and this is how we define our Ram Rajya. हमारे राम राज्य में कोई भूखा नहीं रहेगा, हमारे राम राज्य में सबको शिक्षा मिलेगी, हमारे राम राज्य में सबको अस्पताल मिलेगा। अगर भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने 27 साल में कुछ किया होता तो आज गुजरात में राम राज्य होता। एक पार्टी 27 साल तक एक स्टेट में काम करे तब भी उस स्टेट में इतनी बुरी हालत है, ना स्कूल है, ना अस्पताल है, ना सड़कें हैं। यही कारण है कि आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी is so rattled. So we have not changed our stand. We are still talking about schools and hospitals and roads, but we are saying at the same time, also talking about the fact that we need the blessings of gods and goddesses if we need to move this country out of this economic doldrum which the Bharatiya Janata Party's corruption has put this country into.
Varun, I want to bring you in the conversation, and you and Rahul Ishwar have been patiently waiting. I'm sorry I couldn't come to you earlier. But Varun, what I'm trying to understand, this is a question, as I said, at the cost of sounding repetitive, voters and citizens are asking these questions quite loudly. That there has been a clear shift as far as the comments that we've seen from various leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP is saying you don't have to go back a lot in time, just see what happened on Diwali. There was a cracker ban in place which the BJP is seeing as anti-Hindu. Harish Khurana of the Delhi BJP has also put out certain advertisements of newspapers which has Arvind Kejriwal wishing Diwali to people at large. They are saying even if your Diwali greeting doesn't have images of god and goddesses like Lakshmi and Ganesh, what are you talking about fixing the economy? Do you buy that argument?
You know, Ridhima, first of all, I give you free liberty to interrupt me and moderate this panel because you're the moderator. And secondly, let me tell you, I was expecting better from an IRS officer who's now the chief minister of a state, that he would know the rules and regulations and what are passed in the parliament. This is not the first time that something like this sort of replacing an image or bringing in more images in the currency note has come up. But in October 2010, the then government had set up a committee, the RBI had set up a committee to deliberate whether new images can be brought in. And I'm reading from the answer to the reply that late Finance Minister Arun Jaitley gave in the House when this question was raised. I would just read one line. The committee, after due consideration, decided that no other personality could better represent the ethos of India than Mahatma Gandhi, and hence it was decided that no other image will be brought in. So expecting an IRS to know these basic things was one of the basic facts that I think everyone was expecting. But no, as a Hindu, I feel good that a party which till now was not so Hindu, an atheist who has recently converted into a devout Hindu, is now asking for an image to be brought in of Ganesha and Lakshmi. But as a Hindu who's learned and educated, I don't think these things work to bring the economy back on track. The economy is not derailed when compared to other nations. The economy is fine, doing good. But here it is clear. See, the moment you see elections coming in material which political party it is, they run to temples, they run to see and seek blessings of God. Aam Aadmi Party is a political party and Arvind Kejriwal is its head. Obviously, he is also trying to seek in the same thing. He has realized that his leaders have made blunders in Gujarat, and the kind of statements, I do not want to even repeat what his state president had even said earlier in Gujarat. Those things are not working in favor of Aam Aadmi Party. And obviously, as a political party which wants to win elections, he is choosing something. जैसे मुलायम सिंह यादव जी के बेटे अखिलेश जी को कृष्ण दिखाई दे रहे थे. All of a sudden we see Arvind Kejriwal seeing gods and goddesses and he wants them back. So it's a clear political and election winning agenda, I think so, right now.
But my only concern is कि जनता इससे ज़्यादा smart है. And Rahul, I want to bring you in here. Do you feel that this is really unfortunate that we're seeing the religion card being used by various political parties when it becomes convenient to them? The soundbite that Sanju Verma was quoting is there for all of us to see. Arvind Kejriwal had said exactly this. Mera Ram kisi ki masjid todkar nahi bas sakta. But today we are seeing that same Aam Aadmi Party have this soft Hindutva push. Is it now becoming convenient for political parties to use this card when elections are nearing? And more importantly, Rahul, are citizens actually buying this?
Ma'am, the reality of politics everywhere is of two spectrums. One, a right identity-oriented spectrum, and on the left, there is a left economic spectrum. In India, usually the winning formula is left-wing economics plus right-wing identity flashing, or right-wing identity flashing plus Gandhian socialism, followed by BJP and the other parties. So this has been a winning formula. Arvind Kejriwal, as we all know, is a populist. Who is populist, who has a center-left economic plan, who is inclusive in economics. At the same point of time, he would like to recite Hanuman Chalisa, he would like to invoke Hindu gods, because he knows that is the majority. He has been a very craftful politician. So, this is the winning formula. What AAP really believes will fetch the votes. On one hand, they will, it's something like Ram and Roti. Usually regarding BJP, the analysts will say BJP usually follows a Ram and Roti policy. So these are the various combinations that people are trying. And second, I think what Arvind Kejriwal said is symbolic, not substantial. He, nobody seriously believes by invoking any god or any deity in to bring economics, but rather it was a cultural flashing point to substantiate the point of the Hindu majority vote bank. That I am also along with you. Maybe some bad comments in the past by his ministers, other people might have invoked this, but it is a matter of fact that in Indonesia and the other nations, or even in America, in God we trust, such kind of divinity or sacredness is attributed to wealth. So, as a suggestion, you can consider it. As we all know, it is not practical. You already have a...
Sanju Verma, I want you to respond to the criticism that's now coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party, and they're saying this, that till now the BJP had been using the Hindutva push or the Hindutva card when it was convenient to them. Today, if we're beating them at their own game, why is the BJP rattled? They're saying the BJP stands exposed today when they object the wanting of printing of images of gods and goddesses.
Okay. Riddhima, I just want to lay a couple of facts for your audience. First and foremost, last year when the local body elections in Gujarat were held, out of 572 seats, BJP won 486. That is a strike rate of 85%. The Aam Aadmi Party got 27 seats, which is a strike rate of 4.7%. I am surprised, actually I am amused. A party with a strike rate of 4.7% says that a party with a winning rate of 85% is rattled. No, we are not rattled. Then again in October 2021, you had the Gandhinagar local body polls. Out of 44 seats, BJP won 41 seats. That is a strike rate of more than 93%. Do you know how many seats Aam Aadmi Party won? It won a princely 1 seat. That translates into a pathetic strike rate of 2.2%. But I know economics is not something which is easily understood by the likes of Reena Gupta or her party bosses. And madam, this debate is not about Sanju Verma, but Asia Money rankings are given by Fortune 500 companies. Hence, next time before blabbering, go and read Wikipedia and then come and debate with me. And I want to tell you one more thing, Riddhima.
No, but
you look at Rajendra Pal Gautam. Look at, just 10 seconds. Look at Rajendra Pal Gautam. I was on your channel and I remember that an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson was there and the person refused to apologize despite Rajendra Pal Gautam saying कि हम गणेश में विश्वास नहीं रखते, हम गौरी माता में विश्वास नहीं रखते, हम दुर्गा माता में विश्वास नहीं रखते, हिंदू धर्म is equal to devil incarnate. Did Arvind Kejriwal, apart from removing him or whether he resigned, that is besides the point, has he been expelled from the Aam Aadmi Party? A man openly abuses our gods and goddesses. Arvind Kejriwal ने क्या राजेंद्र पाल गौतम को expel किया है? The answer is no. Arvind Kejriwal is a Kattar Hindutvavadi on odd days, on even days, he becomes anti-Hindu. He's playing
Reena,
with
respond
Dr.
to the
Jekyll
allegations
and
that the
Mr.
BJP, it's not just the BJP today, even the Congress, the Shiv Sena, they've all hit out at you saying, one, this is something that is unimaginable, that you putting a solution to the failing economy with printing images of God and goddesses. And more importantly, the question that is being raised is, has Aam Aadmi Party forgotten its original identity today?
Ridhima, we've not forgotten our identity. We are still talking about good schools, good hospitals, good roads, and we are going to seek votes in the name of the good work that we have done in Delhi and Punjab and the good work that we plan to do in Gujarat. But
how many hospitals have you set up in Delhi? How many schools have you set up in Delhi?
Okay.
How many colleges did you set up in Delhi?
Sanju Verma, I am running out of time. I want to give the final words to Reena. Reena, make your point. Make your point.
Name one hospital that you
One
set
sec,
up in
Sanju
Delhi.
Verma, let her make her point. I am running out of time as well. Reena.
Set up in Delhi. I challenge you.
Sanju Verma,
I
you made
challenge
your
you to
point.
name
It was
one
uninterrupted. Sanju Verma, let's have the
No.
same courtesy to the other panelists as well. Reena, make your point. I'm running out of time.
Ridhima, the point is that BJP has misgoverned Gujarat for 27 years. Now they are realizing that they are losing Gujarat, so they want to tell us who's a better Hindu and what Hinduism is all about. But Ridhima, the question that I want to ask them is that a party which talks about Ram has even made corruption and has made siphoned off money in the construction of Ram Mandir temple. So a party like that, how can they come on TV now and question my Hinduism against their Hinduism? I don't need Sanju Verma or the Bharatiya Janata Party to tell me what is a good Hindu. I know what is a good Hindu and I know what Ram Raj is, and Ram Raj is a state where people have access to good health, good education, people have enough food to eat, there is employment. And this is all that we are talking about. This is what we've done in Delhi and this is what we're going to do in Gujarat.
Absolutely. Reena, nobody was questioning your faith or your astha. And as Rahul Ishwar was also saying, the intent might be right. The only question is it actually a solution to the depleting economy? That question is still out in the open. Unfortunately, I've completely run out of time. I'd like to thank all our guests. Sanju Verma, I've completely run out of time. I appreciate all our guests joining us this evening. We are slipping into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with another debate.